Hey gang, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts, and today I thought I would bring a video to you on how I decorate and embellish my little birds. I know I have done videos in the past where I altered some birds, and those were my the little birds that I turn into magnets. And lately I've been altering the birds, and here's my little box o' birds. I have more, but these are the ones that we're going to kind of play with today. This one is my last little white dove that I have, and for her I did add this feather to her tail. I've got a bag of white fluffy feathers that my friend Judy sent to me a long time ago, and that would be Judy Baker, and she had sent me a whole bunch of feathers, and these are so pretty because they're so fluffy. She has a little store near her. She lives about an hour and a half away from me, and in her little store she has things that my little store doesn't have, and it's a similar little shop. So we were able to kind of help each other out, and bless her heart, she was always kind enough to send me, you know, if I needed feathers or other little things, she would send them to me. But anyway, so you can see on this one how beautiful that feather looks on there. I have other colors and things as well. In fact, I pulled some out that I may be using in these today. I left them over to the side here. I'm going to go grab those. And what I have here is just some other colors. I've got some brown ones, which I have never used in anything, and I think maybe I need to try that. And then I have the little spotted, I think these are peacock feathers or pheasant feathers. I'm not real sure, but I've got the blue and the brown ones. So I may or may not be using those, but I wanted to take them out just in case, because this is something that I kind of do on the fly, and I usually don't know exactly how I want it to look until I start decorating it. So anyway, so this is the little white one that I have, and then I have this kind, which these are just little colored birds. Very brightly colored. I'm not super duper keen on the really bright colors, so I will usually tone them down a little bit. Like the orange around the eyes, I'll usually paint white in there just to lighten it up, and then I almost always paint their beaks a brown color instead of this orange color that's on them. I just feel like it looks kind of like this one has the gray beak. I think that looks a lot better. So I'll either use gray or almost black or brown on their beaks. And then I have this one that I did yesterday. She came out absolutely gorgeous, and this is a little bird that I've had laying around for a very long time. I actually pulled her off of another project. She was actually on that teacup before I pulled it apart and redid it, and I didn't use her. She was just very plain, just a little brown bird. And then yesterday when I was sitting around, I was looking at her and I thought, you know what, I really need to do something with that little bird and make her pretty again. So I decorated her, and of course she's got the white feathers on the tail as well. Hi, honey.
Those are my 90s I made.
Oh, very nice.
So piece of wood.
Yeah, the ones you were telling me about.
Maybe.
Awesome, so they came out right.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Good close.
Very cool. I see it. That's cool. Congratulations, it turned out the way you planned.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now I've got, these are called natural birds, and I bought these on Amazon. And these are more natural colored birds. I don't know that that color's real natural, but you do know you can find very, very colorful birds in the wild. So I really like working with these that look more, you know, have kind of a sparrowish look. I do enjoy working with those. Funny thing is, where birds are concerned, I do love a parrot, and they don't bother me at all. But little tiny flappy birds, I am terrified of them. And so I have this unreasonable fear of birds. I love to look at them, and I love these because they can't flap and fly around me. But my husband and I went to Hawaii on our honeymoon, and you know how everything's opened up in Hawaii. Well, our room was all opened up. There's no screens on the windows or anything. Our room was all opened up, and a bird came flying in the room, and it was landing on lamps and everything. And I ran to the bathroom, and I told him I wasn't coming out until he got that bird out of the room. And so he finally did. He just kind of shooed it out, you know, gracefully. And then I came out of the bathroom. But it's a panic that comes over me, and I know it's unreasonable. And if you put a parrot in front of me, I'm not going to be scared at all. You can put a snake in my arms, and I'm not going to have any fear of that snake. In fact, I recently had my picture taken holding a snake. Somebody brought one into a store that I was in, and she had it wrapped around her neck. And so I was looking at it. It was a python. And she asked me if I'd like to hold it, and I held it, and it was no problem. I'm not afraid of snakes or lizards or anything like that. So it's unreasonable, I know, but it's something that happens to me, and I don't know why. I think what we're going to do today, we're going to decorate this little white bird, but I want to show you a process before we get started on her. I'm going to actually pull her out of the box. And I don't know how many of these we'll do today. Depends on how long the video gets. Oh, I wanted to show you too. I got the best, just a wonderful, wonderful Happy Mail package. Actually on Sunday. Oddly enough, the postman delivered to my house on Sunday. And it was Happy Mail from a friend of mine named Gail Fleming. And I will post her link at the bottom in the description menu. But she is a YouTuber that I totally found by accident one day and started watching her videos. She doesn't do a lot of crafting in her videos, but she always shows off the things that she buys from other crafters and other YouTubers. And she's always so sweet and says the nicest things about people. And she's bought a few things from me and my shop, and or she's crafted some of the things that I've made on my channel. And so she will show those in her videos and say, you know, I got this idea from Carol over at Refunction Crafts, or whatever crafter she's doing a project from. So anyway, Gail sent me the most beautiful packages. Actually, I got two huge boxes full of laces and ribbons and appliques and some jewelry. She sent me a ton of stuff, and then she sent me several cigar boxes because she knows I like to alter boxes. But in that package was this that she made. Is this not gorgeous? And it's just one opening journal. I don't know if you'd call this a journal or what, but it's kind of almost like just a picture frame type thing. And look at how beautifully she decorated this. It's so vintage looking and just amazing. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And I want to say on video, thank you so much, Gail. I love, love, love this. And I've gotten a few journals lately, and they've all been so beautiful. And I don't make journals, but I love them so much. And I love this so much. I love my Wizard of Oz one that I got recently, and I love my purple one. I got the Wizard of Oz from Melba, and I got the purple one from Carol, my friend Carol, and it's just gorgeous. And now I have this one to add to my collection, and I know I've got a vintage one coming from Carol, but she said that may take a while, so I'm just going to wait patiently and be super surprised when I get it. So anyway, I had to show you guys this and just show you, I've gotten so many beautiful things lately, and I'm so lucky. I know I say it all the time, you guys, but I really mean it. I am the luckiest person. I get so many wonderful things from my subscribers, and I truly don't deserve it. I don't. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart, Gail. I just love everything you sent me. Part of what she sent me in that package was a whole bunch of ribbons, and most of them were curled ribbons. And when I say curled, let me show you what well, this is curled ribbon. I actually curled these this morning because these were the colors I wanted and they weren't super curly, so I curled them some more. And I don't know if I did it right. I just did it how I thought it would work. Because I've never actually watched a video or anything on curling ribbons. But here are some more that she had already curled, and they look very vintagey, and they're dyed. Some of them are dyed. Look at this beautiful purple. I just love it. And so, and these are like seam binding ribbons. And that's my favorite kind of ribbon to work with, is the seam bindings, because it's thin and it has a lot of movement to it, and I just really enjoy it. So I'm going to show you, this is a bundle that I did this morning, and this is a bundle that I'm curling, and I'll show you guys what these turned out like. This one I just did a little bit ago. I don't know how much you're going to see of this, and this one, it was a little bit ago too, but I'm hoping it'll be curly enough that you guys can see the difference. They were about like these ribbons here. So I'm going to take these, and the way I've been doing it is I dampen them. I make them damp, and then I just take them and I bunch them up like this in a ball. As you can see, I've got a ball right there. And Gail, I'm sorry if I'm doing this completely wrong, but I've done it this way in the past, and it's worked for me, so this is how I do it, and it works. So I'm going to show you guys how I curl my ribbon and how I make it all scrunchy and everything. And oh, I forgot to grab rubber bands. Hopefully this one will be enough. And so I've got this just in a really tight ball. It's damp, and I'm going to take my rubber band, and I'm just going to keep sort of winding it around in different directions so that it captures all of these. Oh, and I broke it. Ugh. Hold on, let me go grab some rubber bands. My rubber bands are a little bit aged, so sometimes they break when I try to use them on something, but most of them are fine. I've had this big bag of rubber bands since my husband and I were running our own company back in 2010 or so is when I got these rubber bands. So that's 12 years ago. So they're aged. Okay, so now I'm gonna roll it back up in the ball, and I'm just scrunching it up as tight as I can get it. And this way I've got more rubber bands too. I can wrap it a little bit more. So I'm just going to go that way. I'm going to take another one and go in another direction. And I like to get the rubber bands on there pretty tight so that they're going to just really scrunch it up good. The scrunchier, the better. At least that's how I like it. It gives more of that vintage look that I like. And works like a charm. Okay, so there, I've got my ball of ribbon. It's damp, and I'll just let this sit for a day or two. Sometimes I don't let it sit that long. I let it sit for a couple of hours, but I throw it under my blow dryer and get it heated up so that it scrunches really well. And that's what I did with this one. But this one I did not put under the blow dryer. So let's take this one apart and see what happened, if anything, because this was just a very short time ago that I did this. And I don't think it scrunched up at all. It did a little bit. This one just looks more just kind of wrinkly a little bit. So that's what that looks like. So I'm going to probably redo this one. In fact, this is not the same fabric. This is more of a, like a silky chiffon kind of fabric. Whereas these are the seam binding ribbons. So let's hope this one did better. The other thing I did with this one though is I put a lot of ribbon in this ball. So I'm hoping that's okay. So I'm just going to get all my rubber bands out of here. Start taking it apart. Yeah, it looks like this one did pretty good. And let me get this over the top. There's that one. And actually on this one, I think I only put like 3 rubber bands in it. 4. You find the rubber bands as you go along. They get kind of buried in there a little bit. Okay. And if it comes down to a point where you feel like it's just caught up and tangled up in there, you can just cut the rubber band. But there we go. See how curly these are? They're nice and crunched up and just really perfect for my projects. And this is how I like my ribbon to be. It's still actually a little bit damp still, but I want to use some of these in this project. So I may use some and then put them back in a ball again and crunch them up some more. So anyway, so I'm going to put you guys on hold for just a second. I have something I need to grab. Okay, so I wanted to grab a couple of little pieces of appliques that I have here and see if maybe I might want to use these in a couple of these birds. So these I also got in my package from Gail, but you wouldn't believe some of the appliques that I got are so gorgeous. Let me show you this other one that I have here. It's got the little leaves and the flower, but look at how beautiful that is. I really, really love these appliques. So I have 4 or 5 of these little flowers that I'm going to be able to use in some of my projects, and then some of just the leaves and stuff. So I got real excited when I saw all those appliques, and I know I've got another box coming from her. I can't believe it. She's spending an arm and a leg just on postage alone, but she's just been very generous, and she helps a lot of YouTubers out to send them crafting supplies and stuff to keep their channels going. And that's what she's doing. She's helping me out so that I can keep my channel moving and do some really nice quality projects. I'm going to show you guys super quick too. I just made this yesterday, so I thought I would pull it out and show you guys. I used one of my little pouches that I've been doing. This one I made as a makeup bag, but it really came out pretty. And this was all stuff that I had that I got these from Kiki's, this applique. I had this that I got from Debbie. She wasn't selling this in Kiki's, but she did send me this applique. And then I got this in my Happy Mail from Gail, this piece here. Isn't that pretty? And then I got some of these bows too. I love, love, love these bows. And you can see I've used some of that ribbon on this as well. So I love this little makeup bag. It's super duper pretty, and that's what I'm so excited about. I'm going to be able to do more of this kind of stuff, the little pouches and bags and stuff, because I've got a lot of appliques and bows and ribbon to work with. And this is something that I love to do on my projects, is to make these little shabby strings hanging from them. So I was really excited to do that pouch. I got right on it almost, whoops, I started working on it almost as soon as I got the happy mail. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with our little girl here, and I'm gonna pull out the other one so you guys can kind of see where we're gonna go with this. This is my other one that I already did, and we're gonna set her right there. And this one will be a little bit different, of course. We're going to use this bow on her, and then I also have some laces here that I put aside that I did get from Gail. I've got a little bunch here, and I like these thin, fine laces to do my birds, because they're some of these are really floppy, like this one. This is super lacy and fine, and I love these kinds of lace in my birds. I've got this one that's more of a vintagey looking lace. So I've got a bunch of them here that are different styles, and these I love to use in my birds. So get yourself some fine thin lace if you want to do stuff like this, because it really lays nicely on these. You can see I've used some on this bird, just that little fine lace, and this one's sort of tea dyed lace, but it just looks so pretty on these birds. It makes all the difference in the world just having that lace on there. I'm telling you, it's just awesome. I thought about putting some of this black and white polka dotted fabric on this one, because that would be kind of going outside of my box again. But I think I'm going to save that for a different one. We'll do one with that at some point. But I think for this one, I'm gonna do it how I sort of initially had planned. Look at this piece of lace, you guys. I have to show you this one. I just eyeballed it. Look at the little tiny pink, it's just a little tiny pink dot in the center of each scallop in this lace, but it looks really pretty on this lace. It makes it look really vintage, and it makes it look fancy. And that might be pretty on her, actually, instead of one of these. I think I might use that on her, just because I think it would it's got that little tiny splash of pink. And all I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna make a bow, just a regular bow. I'm just gonna tie this one like I normally do a bow, because I'm only doing it with one set of loops in it. The only time I do it the other way that I showed you guys in my other video is when I want, you know, a double or triple effect. I'm going to twist that so that it's facing the right direction on both ends. And so this one will kind of lay on top of the other one. And I don't want to cut that other scallop out, so I'm going to try and be careful and cut it between the scallops, so it won't have a real V kind of a edge on it, but that's okay. And then we'll just put that sort of on top of the other lace there, like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down this bow, make sure which side I want to be my front. This will go on the back. And I'm going to start it right sort of in the middle of her back, right there. And you guys will notice I'm using my little glue gun. I found 4 glue sticks. So I'm using my little one. I cannot tell you, that other doggone glue gun, the battery operated one, runs out of steam so fast, and it gets so hot that from using it just the other day, I have got so many burns on my fingers that I can hardly stand it. So I've got to get my little glue sticks, because this glue gun does not get so hot. In the other one, it was boiling hot. I mean, literally boiling to the point where there was bubbles in the glue as it was coming out of the glue gun. And then it was so liquidy that, I'm going to push that down a little bit, that it was dripping all over everything. It was getting all over everything. It was just making a big old mess. And so I had a lot of cleanup I had to do. I've got it all over my pretty little topper here. But I didn't change that out because I figured, it's okay. You guys understand. I don't want to keep changing them out every time I use them. So as long as it's not super bad, I'm okay with it. So there, already she looks really gorgeous with just that on her. That would be enough. But you guys know me, a little bit is never enough. So I think for her, I'm going to take, I have 2 more of these little pearl accents that I got from Kiki's sale. And I'm going to use these kind of coming out on her back. Just kind of coming up like this. And I think I'm going to try and get it between these ribbons. So I'm going to poke it in. Oops. Well, let me get a better look at the direction that I want these to go in. Kind of just like that. So let me get these glued down. I'm just going to put some glue on her back there. Press these down and sort of position them the way I want them. These little pearls are so pretty. I don't know where Debbie got them. I'm sure I think she sold them in her last sale or either a time or 2 ago. And this is the first time I've gotten them. So I'm hoping maybe I'll get some more in the future and I can use them in some more projects. But these are the last 2 I've got left of those. So I thought they would just be really pretty on her, and I used them on another bird that I did, not this one, but another bird that I did before this one, and I knew it looked really pretty on there, so I wanted her to have that look as well. And then I'm just going to take, I've got a whole bunch of flowers over here to pick from. I just dumped a few out here. And so I'm just going to kind of pick a few of them. I only have 1 pink rosebud and 1 purple rosebud left, so she's going to get one of them. I'm going to cut this short because I don't think it's going to stick in there real well. And I'm going to have that sort of coming out between the pearls like that. And then this other rose is going to go right there. Let me look. I want to see something because these other solid pink roses are just a tad bit smaller than these. You can see there, it's just a little bit smaller. And I think actually that's what I'm going to go with, is the solid pink rose, because I like that it's just ever so much smaller. Not a lot, but just enough that I think it makes a difference. I'm going to press that in the middle there, and you can see, look how pretty that looks. And there's her backside. And then I had something else I was going to do. Here we go. I have a couple of these teeny tiny little white roses. I want to put one of those just kind of coming towards the back of the bow. So we're just going to put a little glue right there and put that one down on her back. There we go. And now for a little bit of jewels. So I have my little jewel box here. And I'm just going to pick a couple of small little bits to put sort of on her wing area. Actually, they're going to come right to the sides of those pearls. And one on the other side. Sometimes I don't embellish the back side as much, especially if it's going on certain projects. I don't worry about it because you're not going to see the back side. But with these birds, they're just so pretty. I feel like I don't want to cut any corners on them. I want them to be nice all the way around. And this one just has a little piece of the backside of the feather there that I don't care for. Okay, so that's what she looks like. Is she not gorgeous? And then I want to take and I have just this little teeny piece of this trim left. This is the thinnest trim that I have in my arsenal, and so that's why I always use it on little things like this, because it really, really looks nice, and it's not too big for these birds. I don't know what I'm going to do on the next bird that I do, so we'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to put it kind of coming between the pearl and the rhinestone piece there. And then I'm going to have it kind of coming way down on her chest. Right about there. So I'm going to just put a little bit of glue going across her chest. Just like that. And then get it around to the side, and I'm actually going to be cutting one flower off. That's okay, I'm going to find a place to use that one flower. You can bet on that. And it may even go on her, I'm not sure. Got a little bit of feathers popping out there. I don't want that. Okay. And I did put some feathers, some of the white feathers on her wings as well. Sometimes I don't like, with these birds, sometimes I don't like the way the wing part looks. So I'll always look to try and cover that with something. And in this case, the feathers just worked out perfectly. So there she is with her little neck piece on. Isn't that pretty? And I'm thinking I might actually pop this little flower. Oh goodness, look at my nails. They look awful. Again. I'm going to pop this flower, I think, just right in there. Just because I have it and I don't want to waste it, and I don't know what else I would use it in, and it actually goes with this bird, so why not, right? Why not use it? There we go. Okay, so she's done. Isn't she gorgeous, you guys? Oh, I can't tell you how much I love these birds. And I've been using stickles. A lot of times I put stickles around, you know, maybe their eyes and different places. I'm not going to do that with her because I don't think she needs it. I don't think she needs that extra sparkle. But, you know, I am thinking, I'm looking through my jewels here, trying to see if I have just one small, tiny little rhinestone that I can use to put in the center of her little neck piece there. Let's see, how would that look? Nah, and that's too big. Oh, you guys, let's see. I don't know if one of these would be too big or not. Let's see. No, I don't like that. Oh, maybe one of these little pink ones. These, yes. I'm going to use just this little pink one. And this came off of a string of, oh, look what I found, you guys. Look, I found another piece. I know I pulled these out so I could use them today. Anyway, I have a string of these that I've been using on stuff. I just can't, I don't know. I know I had it sitting right in front of me not too long ago. But anyway, I'm going to use this one. I'll find them before this video's up. And we're just going to put that right in the center between two of those little flowers. Just like that. And there. You can kind of see how that looks. It just kind of sets it off. So that's this one. She is done. We're going to set her aside. And I think we're going to do one more because I want to show you guys what you can do with the natural birds to make them really shine as well. So we're going to take one of these and we're going to get out some of our other feathers, and I think we're going to use these because they kind of go with her. I was thinking maybe I'm going to pull out the blue ones as well because I was kind of thinking maybe I might do one in blue accents because I thought that would be pretty. I know it takes away from the natural look, but I don't necessarily have to have the whole bird looking natural. But I do like the faces and stuff on these birds. I just think they're better and they look more realistic and the beaks are painted the right colors and all of that. So I don't know if I'm going to do this or not, but I'm going to check and see. I think actually I'm going to do a blue one, you guys. I really, really want to do a blue one. Let me see if I want to use this bird or one of the other ones. Oh, wait a minute. What colors are on my other ones? I have these ones that have black heads, but I'm torn on these. But you know what? I could use my black and white ribbon on this one. So, and then I've got my polka dotted, maybe I'll do that. I'll go with that and my, oh, do I want to go blue? The blue is awfully pretty. Or do I want to go with this? Maybe we will just keep this one looking more natural. I gotta pull some more of these feathers out so I get just the right ones. I'm very picky about which feathers I use. So, yeah, we're gonna go with just the natural feathers. So let's take these blue ones out of here. We're not gonna go blue on this one. I'm gonna set those aside. And I'm just going to pull all of these feathers out of the bag because I want to pick the very best ones. And I used to be able to get these feathers at my little local store, but they have stopped carrying them, these feathers. And I don't know why. It's like I go in there and one time they have it and the next time they don't. And it's so frustrating sometimes. And what happened was, for a long time, I could always get what I knew I needed. I'm going to take this clip out of her belly because we don't need that. But anyway, COVID hit. And suddenly they stopped having all of those wonderful things that I used to get. And it's just so frustrating. And I know it's got to be, you know, there's still stuff sitting in those doggone containers all over the world. And so things are just not getting through the way they used to. And it's just frustrating. I wish they would fix that problem once and for all. Okay, that's a really good one. That's a pretty good one, and that's a good one. And I like that one because we're going to put some in the tail as well. So I'm going to use for the wings and the tail. And we're going to get that tail stretched out so that it's long and it extends longer than the tail that's already on this bird. So we're just going to start putting them on and seeing how it goes. And we're going to start with the tail. I just put a stripe of glue there. And this nice, you know what, we're going to go with this one first. I like to take the fluffiest ones and put them on top. So I usually use usually around 3 feathers on the tail, just because I like to have them kind of, you know, going sort of in different directions a little bit. And I'm trying really hard not to get a mess of glue on the feathers themselves, especially these fluffy ones, because once you get glue into those, they just don't look nice anymore. So I'm always real careful to watch what I'm doing as far as that goes. I'm not going to use that one. I'm sorry, I'm looking at these other feathers just to see what's, these little ones I like to use at the wings, but this one looks like I've cut it on both ends already. So the ones that I've already cut into, I definitely don't want to use this time. So, okay. This one's nice and fluffy, so I think that's going to be the top one I'm going to put on the tail wings. And I'm going to be careful here not to get it all over the place. And this one's going to go so that it's kind of going in that direction. So just make sure that when you're doing something like this, you're thinking about what it's going to look like in the end, and you want your prettiest stuff to come to the top. So If you're using some basic feathers, you know, in it at the bottom, they're just going to poke out through the bottom of whatever's going on top. So just save your prettiest for last. Okay, so now I'm going to take and work some of these sort of into, let me show you, into the wings, or the wings. So we'll be putting some kind of like that. So this, I think I'm going to go ahead and use this one, and I've got a string of glue, of course. Let me get to where I can see it real well. I think I had this one. Hopefully. Nope, I didn't. And then I see how that's sticking out. That's okay. I just positioned it where I thought it was going to look good, and then I'll pop that piece right off of there. And these feathers that I'm using here, these actually last pretty well. They don't, you know, you can get feathers like on the little boas and stuff that you get at the Dollar Tree. But the unfortunate thing about those is I found I was using them in some projects years ago. And then I found out that they actually start to just fall apart and not look good at all. So I quit using those, and then right about that same time is when I found these feathers at my local store when they had them. So I was using them there, and then they stopped carrying them. So that's when my friend Judy was so sweet, and she went and picked me up some from her store, and she was able to get these beautiful peacock feathers, and I like using peacock feathers as well. I haven't done anything in peacocks in a while, and I'm starting to get that urge again to do something with peacocks. Maybe I'll use some of my peacock feathers in that, and I'll show you guys what those look like. I just don't have them real handy right now to pull out and show you. Okay, so we've got those wings on there, and then I want to take some of these smaller, I've got this one. Hold on, I'm going to go grab another package of these brown ones. So that I can find another small one to go at the wings. Like I said, I'm pretty picky about what I use where, and so I try to find the best pieces for the best, to get the best results. And this one's really nice. The end of it here is not perfect, but that's not what I want. I'm going to use this little one here. And it has a thinner stick. So that one is going to cover up the stick of the one behind it. And on this one, I'm using a little bit more wing than I used on my other one. And that's mainly because it's a little different, and I like the way it looks. I may have to glue that down. I think I do need to glue that down a little bit though, because it's popping up a bit too much. And I still want to use my ribbons and stuff on this so that it's got all those pretty little embellishments. And one more dot of glue on this one. Just like that. Okay, now I got to get the other side here. Let me see, what does that one look like? Okay, so we've got a lot of fluff. That one's not good. This one's pretty similar to the one I just put on the other side, so I think this is the one I'm going to use on this side. I need to get it pointing in the right direction. Pay attention to, before you get it stuck down real good, pay attention to the direction that it's going. And then we're going to get some more glue on the inside here so we can lay it down a little bit more. Like that. And I really think this one's actually going to turn out really nice. The only thing I do want to do is I do want to make some changes right up around her eyes. I guess I didn't get any glue on that. I want to make some changes kind of up around her eyes because I feel like there's just too much darkness around the eyes. So there we go with that. Just like that. What a mess. Let's get these flowers off the table here. I think, or flowers, feathers. You guys, I enter the wrong words. It's so funny because I rewatch my videos while I'm editing them, and I so often put the wrong words in my sentences, and I don't catch myself doing it until I'm rewatching the video. So I'm starting to try and make captions on my videos saying, okay, I get it, I said the wrong word, or called that the wrong thing, or whatever. It happens to me all the time, and I don't understand it. Sometimes it scares me. But I don't think it's anything serious. It's just one of those things that happens, and I think we all do it on a regular basis, especially as we get older. And it just happens. So I'm going to put these two girls aside and get them out of the way, and this one. I don't want to start getting strings of glue all over those. Okay. And now I'm going to get some of my ribbons here, and I'm going to use pink, and I like this pink. I'm going to use pink and the black polka dot. So I'm actually going to put a few of these in a couple of different shades of pink. Some that's a little lighter, some that's a little darker, and then a little bit of the off-white. And this off-white one has like brown, kind of like tea dyed stains, but I think it's more like, it almost looks like it's burned, but it's not. It might even be some distressing ink or something, I'm not sure, but it looks pretty cool. And then I'm going to put one little piece of organza in there too, just for good measure. So let me go ahead and start. Oh, one thing I do want to do, and I think the way I'm going to do that is I want to use a couple of pieces of the polka dot. So I'm just going to cut that off, and I'm going to put another piece in there like that. And I'm going to start tying my bow before I cut the other side, or the rest of the ribbons, I should say. And then I got to hope that I didn't cut the black ones too short. Let's try this again. I'm trying to do this sort of, what did I do that time? Okay, try this again. I'm trying to do it as tightly as I can so that I get it as close to being tight as possible the first time around. You know how you kind of have to jiggle your loops around a few times and then pull back the other way, and I'm trying to not have to do that too many times. But at the same time, I want to make sure I get a nice look in my bows. And what I could have done, in fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull this apart one more time. I'm going to take my polka dot ones and use those sort of like I did my lace ones in the other one. And actually, that's the other thing. I do want to put a piece of this fine lace, just a small piece of the fine lace in there too. Okay, now let's do this. This is going to be perfect now. I can already tell it's going to be a lot better this way, because I don't want the polka dot one to be so mixed into the other one that it gets lost. I definitely want that to be my main focus in the bow, and these other ribbons are just sort of accent bits. And that looks really, really pretty. So I'm happy with how that turned out. And I want to let you know, Kim, also I got my printer working. So I am excited because I'm going to be able to hopefully get some images, some vintage lady images and stuff, so that I can print those. I have to get on Etsy and see what I can find, and so that I can get some of those and print them to have in my stash, because I haven't been able to do that for a while, because for quite some time I haven't even had a printer. And so I've just had to put handwritten thank you cards in all of my packages. To say thank you to my customers. And I do like to be able to put also a copy of their receipt in there. But if you buy from Etsy, you can always go back and print your receipt yourself as the buyer. So I don't think we have to put the receipt in the packaging, although I think it's kind of the professional thing to do. So I like to try and make sure I do that on all my packages. I always have, except here lately I just haven't, because I haven't had a printer in so long. But we got the printer, and then a few days later, of course, it was out of ink, because they only give you those little sample size ink cartridges when you buy them. Well, we have it set up through Staples that it's part of the deal, 1 year free ink cartridges. And so so when it ran out, oh, I hate cutting this off of here. So when it ran out, I went to fill it, and it choked up and said that it couldn't move, and then it said it had a paper jam, and then the power was stuck on, and I couldn't do anything with it. It wouldn't reboot, it wouldn't do anything. So it's been 3 weeks since that happened, and Jeff finally today got over to Staples to see if they could fix it or tell him why it wasn't working. And the guy plugged it in at the store and it worked immedately. And I can't tell you how many times we unplugged it, plugged it back in, unplugged it, plugged it back in. We kept doing it and it wasn't doing anything. One light would come on, but then we couldn't get the power button to shut off. It was stuck on. And it's still stuck on. I noticed that when he brought it back home. But as long as the printer's working, we got the new ink cartridge in there and it's working fine now. So now I'm going to be able to get some new pretty images and stuff. Digital images. So if you guys are looking for nice images, go to Etsy. And there's a lot of shops there that that sell digital images. And they've got some really pretty ones. One of the sellers that I've bought a lot of them from is called, I think she's called Art Cult or something, meaning art culture. And she had some really beautiful vintagey looking images and stuff. So I've bought from her a few times, and I can't think of any of the others because all of the images that I have I bought so long ago, because you can use them so many times. They allow you to use, like, I don't know what the number is, I forget. I think it was like 300 times or something. And then you have to buy again. And I'm able to, when I buy those, I'm able to sell my pieces with those images on them, you know, without getting in trouble. So that's what she looks like so far. Doesn't she look pretty? Let me cut this string off because it's just going to keep on going if I don't. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to find a couple of flowers here. And I'm thinking I don't want to go that color because it just doesn't go. I think I want to go with the pink and white on this one. Because this bird is a little bit bigger than the other one, you know, fluffier. So I think I can afford to go with a slightly bigger flower there. And I don't have any more of those pearls, but what I am going to do, and I don't have another pink rosebud. So let's see, what do we want to do here, you guys? Let's see. Oh, look, I have two purples. So maybe we'll just add a splash of purple in this one. Oh, there's my other pink. This is what I was trying to show you guys before with the opalescent pink rhinestone bits. And I was thinking I might use one of these on one of these, but look at how big that is. But, you know what I am going to do? I think I'm going to use one of the leaves on this. That might be actually quite pretty. Yeah, I'm going to take one of these leaves and sort of have it coming out from under the flower here at the bottom section. Like that. It's going to look nice. So let's go ahead. Sorry about the noise, you guys. The trash collectors are going by. I'm pretty sure you can hear their truck. It's loud. Okay, so actually I might have to use two. I think I need to use two of those leaves. So let me use the other one here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Pop that one in there. And then I wanted to see if I have I have one more of the tiny little white roses that I'm going to put right between those two leaves. And then, again, I'm going to grab two of these little small rhinestone bits, and I'm going to put those off to either side of the pink rose. Just push it in there and hold it down. And get the other side. There. And this bird's, you know, quite a bit beefier than the other one. I don't know if I'm going to use the other rosebud or not. I think I'm going to use one of these purple roses, and that's it. I'm going to save the other one. I do like to have at least one rosebud popping out with the other roses, and I think the purple will be fine because it's such a soft lavender that I think it looks pretty in there. I have this little stamen bit here that I can throw. Two tiny little stamens in there. Not stamens, I don't know what you would call these. These seem more like almost if you were to put baby's breath into a bouquet of flowers. Just a tiny dot of blue. And we'll have that coming off to that side. Okay, and then what did I do with it? I found that little piece of my trim and got so excited that I laid it somewhere, and of course now I can't find it. Bummer. Let's see, give me just a second, you guys. I'm going to see if I can find it, and if not, that's okay. We'll come up with another. That's too thick. That's why I love that other trim, because it's just narrow enough that it doesn't overtake the project. I know I sat it right here. And that one's too bright. Darn it, what did I do with that pretty little trim? I can't help but think it's tossed in with all these ribbons. Ah, there it is. Okay, we're going to use a piece of this and put it around her neck, and then I think we'll be done with this pretty bird. So let me just get a little dot of glue there. Right there. And right there. And we need to go to that flower. Okay, and I still have 3 little roses left, and you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to find a place to use that. Not on her, but on something else. I will not throw that away. I think I've got some more of that coming pretty soon, so I will have some more soon. It's one of those things that I don't like to run out of. I feel like I need to put a dot of glue right in here so I can pull that polka dotted ribbon over. I want it to lay a certain way, and it's not going to do that on its own. So I've got to put a dot of glue up here at the top to sort of get it go in the direction I want it. And then on this side we're going to do the same. This piece is fine, but the other piece doesn't want to sit down. Doesn't want to play nice. There. Let me fluff these up a little bit, because I want to be able to see both polka dot loops. And actually I think this one might work better if I switch places. Like that. There we go. Okay, this pretty girl is done. And that's what she looks like. Look how gorgeous, you guys. Oh, she needs a little bling bling in her, on her neck there. I'm trying to remember what I used in the other one. What did we do? Oh, we used the pink one. That's right. So I've got my little rhinestone bits. I'm just going to take one piece off. I just love these chains because you get so much out of one piece when you're using them for embellishments. You can really, it goes a long way. And Debbie always makes sure that she sends me stuff that has plenty of bling on it. I'm going to put this between these 2 roses here. It's not quite in the center, but that's okay, because I don't want to put it over one of the roses, and then because then it'll stick out too far. So I'm going to push it down really nicely. And there's her little neck piece. So that's what she looks like, you guys. And I'll get the other ones out. I'm not going to do another one. I think that's enough for one day. But hopefully you guys got something out of this video and you enjoyed it. And now you know how to decorate and embellish your own little birds. And then some of these I will have in my store. Some of them I'm going to save for projects. So I'm going to be making more of these. I'm going to be working on these birds to get more so that I can put, you know, a few of them in my shop. Because they really are pretty. And if you're not one that feels like it's something that you can do or that you want to do, but yet you like embellishing with birds, because these are awesome on memory boxes and jewelry boxes and things like that that you want to decorate and have, you know, really stand out. these are awesome. So here's our little blackbird. Just gorgeous. Let me put her face up there. Look at that. Super pretty. Here's our little white bird. Super pretty too. And this would be gorgeous in wedding embellishments, or, you know, can you imagine using these at a wedding, like at the reception or what have you, as part of a centerpiece or something? Oh my goodness. I would love that. That's exactly the kind of decorations I would want if I was getting married. And then here's our little beige girl, beige and pink. She needs a centerpiece on her neck too. I'm going to cut one of those off real quick right now and do that, because she's got to have a pretty necklace too. So that's really it, you guys. I'm going to post pictures at the end of the video, so make sure you have a look at those. You can see sort of more close up what they look like. And then please, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would so greatly appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button and set up the notifications so that you will get notified every time I put out a new video. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Those comments really, really do help me to get placed in front of other YouTubers, or so that I can grow my subscriber base. And I'm working really, really hard to make that happen. And don't forget to visit my Etsy shop. I'm going to leave the link to my Etsy shop down below, and the link to Kiki's sale. That's a Facebook shop. Awesome, awesome stuff. Awesome prices. And you guys won't be disappointed in the beautiful things that you can get from Kiki's. So make sure you get in and join that group. And if you want to join the group, you have to make sure you have a profile set up on your Facebook account, and that you answer all of the questions that are asked of you in the join section. If you don't do those two things, then Debbie won't put you in the group. So make sure you follow all the directions and do that. You guys will love it. I'll be there. And it's just really awesome. So make sure you do that too. Y'all have a really great day, a great week, and be blessed. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.